Hi, hello everyone. This is your tarot reader and astrologer Shravanti, and today in this particular video I'm going to talk to you about the very important Surya Grahana which is coming on the 25th of October. So the 25th of October, we can see that the Surya Grahana is coming, which is the next day of Diwali, and many people nowadays are not having the awareness of the Surya Grahana because of many things. The one particular thing is they believe that Surya Grahana is becoming a superstition. So they don't want to take the precautions and they don't want to take the necessary steps. So in this video I'm going to explain to you what is the most important factor why we need to take care of Surya Grahana or any Grahana, and in this Surya Grahana which is coming on the 25th of October, what are the most important nakshatras and rashis that needs to be very aware. So the first thing is Surya Grahana. So why is it very important and why should we take a lot of precautious steps? The first thing is Surya Grahana or Chandra Grahana. It's actually the rising of negative entities. Okay, so if you take in our Purana, Navagraha Purana, Suryan and Chandran are the planets which will give light to earth. Similarly, Rahu and Ketu, there is a story that Rahu and Ketu swallowed Suryan and Chandran to get the Amrit. So what happens is, once the Rahu and Ketu swallowed Suryan and Chandran, the entire world became dark. Dark forces started coming up. There was a lot of criminal activities which are happening. Devas suffered and a lot of good deeds were not possibly done by anybody. The self mind of all the people had got deluded. So this is a story, but in reality, let me tell you why Surya Grahana is one of the most important Grahanas that can affect our mind, our body and our karma. Okay, so Surya is called as the ray of light. So Surya, the entire rays of Lord Sun will fall on the plants and the plants will generate food for itself, and thus the world starts running. Okay, then only we'll get our food. The sun's rays falls on our body, we'll get our nutrients. So sun is the form of indirect rays and light which falls on us. So what happens is, if you see, even in the day and night, in the day certain people, the emotions will be very mild, it will be very stable, and lot of mood swings and emotional disturbances will come during the nights, because when the sun comes down, the lower entities and the lower forces starts waking up. That is why we sleep in the night, we wake up in the morning. Why was not it reverse? Why can't we sleep in the morning and wake up in the night and work? That is against the nature. So sun governs our soul and our mind. Just understand, sun governs our soul and our mind. If you go to a country where there is no sunlight, I think in the northern pole or the southern pole there is 6 months where you don't get light. Just go there and ask people how they feel emotionally. It will be very draining, low down, and many people cannot survive that time where you have to stay without sun. So now artificial lights have come which give a ray similar to the sun, so that our mind and body stays fresh. That's why when you see the sunlight, your mind gets fresh. Because the sun governs our soul and the mind, when the sun gets blocked in the eclipse, what happens is, first mood swing starts developing. So even if it's for a very short period of time, our mood will swing from the positive to negative. So that is why during the eclipse we are advised not to do any activity, just to sleep or just to pray or just to stay just like that, not to do any activity, because that will trigger negative mindset. The second thing is, sun also governs the digestion. It's called the Jatar Agni. So like the sun is a representation of our digestive fire. So inside our stomach there is something called as Jatar Agni. So what happens is, when the world's Jatar Agni, that is sun, gets blocked, our digestive systems also slows down. So that is why when you eat anything during the Grahana, it will not get digested. Either you will have loose motion, or you'll have vomiting, or indigestion, or food poisoning, stomachache. So that is why we are advised not to have anything during the eclipse time. The third thing is, pregnant women are supposed to stay inside the house, not come out, because the negative rays of the sun can affect the baby in the womb. So this is not trusted by anybody. Let me tell you a story. There was a Russian woman who is a client's friend of mine. So what happened is, they don't take all this eclipse going out and all seriously. She was a pregnant woman. Everything was fine. She had gone out and come back, and then after that she felt the fetus was not moving and all. Then she went to the hospital. Everything was fine, and once the baby got delivered, that ear was closed. Like the ear came, the birth defect as a closed ear. So what has happened is, this eclipse can affect, and there are certain reasons why pregnant women are told not to come out of the house. And most finally, this time whatever you do will multiply. Okay, so if you do negative things, it will multiply. If you do positive things, you will multiply. So that is why we are advised to sit and chant or pray. Whatever positively you do, it will multiply. So eclipse has the ability to multiply because the sun's rays become negative. Okay, so that is why scientifically eclipse is not supposed to be seen directly by our eyes. But right now, this modern era where people wear this cooling glasses and see the rays, it's not advisable, because it can affect your mind, your body for a long period of time. If your body and mind gets affected during the eclipse, it can go till 48 days of time for you to clear off that negative energy. Why? Because in eclipse, like how we all have a positive aura, there is a negative a kind of what we called it as pida. In Sanskrit we call it as pida. A thick layer of black grease like thing will start forming on our aura. So that is why, if you see in our olden days, that dharba is there, no, the sacred grass, they used to cut it, put it inside all the pulses, they will put it inside the water, everywhere the dharba used to be placed. And after the eclipse is over, we have to take a full head bath either with salt or with the dharba, and then only we have to eat, because that pida will develop in our aura, and that can slowly go penetrate and create negative energies which can disturb our health and our mind. So that is why this grahana is very, very important. Not only this grahana, in a year generally we get 2 to 3 grahanas. So all these grahana, be very, very careful. The maximum activity which we suggest is to either stay still, meditate, chant, or just go to sleep. That is the best thing. And don't see this negative movies or negative clippings, arguing with the family, fighting with the family. Any negative events, please avoid, because that will multiply. It will keep on multiplying. The next is, which are the nakshatras which need to be careful. So this time, 25th October, the grahana happens in the nakshatra of Chitra nakshatra. So the nakshatras of pre and post. So before that is Chitra nakshatras, before Hasta, Chitra, Swati, Visakha, we have to be very careful. And the opposite, the 7th Lord's nakshatra, which is again Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika on the before. We have to be very, very careful. So why is these nakshatras, when the grahana happens, that entire 6 months or till the next grahana happens, that particular nakshatras can have ill effects. So to relieve it from that, we need to do puja for Suryan, Chandran and Rahu Ketu. If you want to know all the details of the puja, there is a link given in the description below. You can just click on the link or just call our number. And finally, most importantly, when grahana happens, it affects your horoscope. For example, last year the Grahana happened in a particular nakshatra. This was a client who came in, very successful businessman, everything was going on well, and suddenly he said he does that export of things, said one batch got logged in the customs. This has never happened to him, and when we checked, the Grahana had got transited in the 10th house, that is from his Lagna, 10th house that Grahana had happened, so his work got logged. So whatever horoscope is there for you, then whichever house it transits, the Grahana transits, that house will get affected. So please be very, very careful. It can affect in a subtle way in the horoscope of the person. Certain times when your transit is weak, certain times when your transit and the Dashabhukti is weak, then the effects can be harder. So all this cannot be discussed in a single video. What I would suggest is, for those who want to know whether it is going to affect your horoscope or not, you can just call me or WhatsApp me and send your horoscopic details. We can analyze in depth and we can let you know. So this important video of Grahana, you need to share it with all the people, the friends, relatives, acquaintances, whomever you know, so that you can create awareness about how the person has to be careful, and especially pregnant women or elderly people. You can just send this video across, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Also share this video and like this video. Keep watching my channel for more videos on spiritual topics and astrological topics. In the next video, it's going to be a very interesting topic. Keep watching. This is your Shravanti, tarot card reader and astrologer.